على نهجك مشيت بدربك مضيت نوري حبيبي المصطفى بك اقتديت على نهجك مشيت ومنك استقيت نوري حبيبي المصطفى بك اقتديت
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ثم أما بعد. May Allah bless you for attending this virtual meeting, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala combine us together in Jannat al-Firdaus, and before that inshallah on the plains of Arafah and in the company of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallam on his house drinking from his blessed hand inshallah. Brothers, today inshallah we will be talking about planning for Ramadan. Ramadan is coming in a few days. Yes, so today is actually 15th and Ramadan is 23rd, 24th. Whoa! A little bit over 1 week. Okay? And it goes without saying that failing to plan is planning to fail. Like anything, you want to have a journey, you plan your stops, you plan, you take your car, you do many things. Let me mute everybody. Manage participants, mute all. So failing to plan is planning to fail. Anything you do in life, your job, your journeys, your business, your leisure, everything you make a plan for it. When it comes for Ramadan, it is not different. You need to make a plan, and a good plan, not any plan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make things work for you when you plan for them. So again, the golden rule is failing to plan is planning to fail. So what you need to do, my dear brothers, is to dedicate a time before Ramadan. I'm saying what? Before Ramadan, which means now. For what? For drafting a plan of what to do in Ramadan. This is step one on the success of making the most out of Ramadan. What to do again? I like to repeat. Dedicate a good time now on making a plan for Ramadan, and keep for example, you finish the plan today, keep revising it and improving it every day until you get the best plan that you can achieve. And every time you look at the plan, every time you come to draft or redraft the plan, remind yourself that you're making this only and exclusively for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you're not doing this to achieve any worldly benefit, only to achieve the benefit of being connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and getting the maximum reward from the month of Ramadan, inshallah. So again, the planning, and every time you do something or you plan something, renew your intention and make it exclusively for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What to take into consideration in this plan? Number one, you can write these bullet points. And brothers, Brother Roman, and I'll send the recording for him, or I'll put it on my YouTube. So please leave your number or your contact details with Brother Roman, who will send you the recordings of these short talks, inshallah. I'll leave his mobile number after I finish the talk, inshallah. So the first thing that you take into consideration is that the written targets are usually better achieved than the ones that lie only in your head. So I'm going to do Ramadan, this and that, and then you'll forget, or you'll take it too lightly. But when it is written, and when you come and take yourself into account, this is plan one. This is what I should have achieved by the first day, the first week, the first night. Have I achieved it or not? So have a written plan. Why? Because written plans are very widely known to be better achieved than the ones that are oral or that lie only in the head. So what to do? Write down, and I repeat it, write down what you are planning to achieve in Ramadan. This is step number one. Step number two, measurable targets are better achieved than the generic or the general ones. What do I mean by this? Something that you can measure. So, for example, you say, I'm going to pray 21 rak'ahs every night. or I'm going to read 20 pages of the Quran, one juz every night. Don't say I'm going to read as much as I can of the Quran. I will pray as much as I can. As much as I can means too little. And every day there'll become another excuse. So make it written down and make it measurable. Everybody knows their abilities. So what to do? Define measurable targets and do not make everything general, or don't make anything actually general. So again, I'm going to finish the Quran 3 times in Ramadan. That means I have to read 3 juz every day. I'm going to finish the Quran once in Ramadan. That means I have to read, if you're using the Medina version of the Quran, I have to read 1 juz every night. And 1 juz, how many pages? 20 pages. You can simply divide this over very little after each prayer. How many prayers do you have a day? 5. Okay? So if you're reading 1 juz in the Quran in every day, then it means you finish the whole Quran in Ramadan by reading. Okay? One thing you can do simply is, okay, I need to finish 20 pages. If I divide 20 pages over 5 times after every prayer, or let's say half of this 20 pages over 5 prayers, 4. Okay? You can read 4 pages of the Quran after you finish each prayer. Basically, someone with my speed or someone who's fluent in reading the Quran, for 4 pages, you need exactly 5 to 6 minutes to finish them. Okay, someone will take longer, whatever. The Prophet says, those who read the Quran and they are fluent in its recitation, they will be with the dignified and honorable angels. And those who read the Quran and find it hard and keep stumbling and struggling in reciting it, they will get 2 rewards. The rewards of trying to read the Quran and the reward of finding it hard and difficult. So it's a win-win situation. Simply have a plan, make it written, make it measurable. So I'm going to finish the Quran once in Ramadan. Okay, so I need to read 20 pages. Maybe if you sit 1 hour, 1.5 hours in a room, isolating yourself, that will be extremely difficult for you. Your wife, your kids, someone will ring the phone, something will happen. Okay, we'll come to this later. But an easy way of doing this, again, 5 daily prayers, 1 juz, 20 pages. That means after every prayer, you read just 4 pages, which take on average, because many of us cannot read the Quran fluently, 10 to 15 minutes. Is it that too much? No. Okay, you can divide it 2 pages before the Salah and 2 pages after the Salah. When you can't achieve it, for example, and you're praying at home, if you're not praying in the masjid, then you can read, for example, half a juz after or before each prayer, and in the Taraweeh you read the other half. So find out the way that works out for you. Okay? Also, try to be, I'm saying 2 things that will seem contradictory, but they are not contradictory. Try to be optimistic, or try to increase your ambition, which means what? Which means, my dear brothers, you know that you can finish, even though it's a bit challenging to you, you can finish in Ramadan the Quran twice. So, and this is the maximum you can do. Okay, make this as a target for you. If this is your target and you try hard to achieve it and you achieve it, you will get what you have planned, and only a reward that is only known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you fail to achieve it, then at least with the good intention and the hard work you have put behind it, still Allah will give you the reward. But I'm not saying be extremely ambitious or go beyond the logic, no, but try to be ambitious. You know, for example, you can run or you can walk 1 mile a day, for example, within 20 minutes. So next time you say, I'm going to eat 1.5 mile or 1.25 of a mile within the same 20 minutes, increase a little bit over your normal capacity, try to achieve it. Otherwise, you will not improve. So again, if you achieve what you are planning to do, alhamdulillah. If you don't achieve, Allah will give you the reward for the intention and for trying. However, the second point, or the next point that I want to make that seems contradictory with the previous one, is that try to define your weakness points And upon defining it, define only a number of your weaknesses to work on Ramadan, in Ramadan. How is that? So I'm not really good in praying Jama'ah. Obviously, during the lockdown, that's not going to be applicable. I'm not really good in connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and saying the morning and evening afkar. I'm not really good about connecting with my relatives. I'm not really good in reading a daily part of the Quran. I'm not really good, wallahi, I'm so addicted to the TV and I waste a lot of time. So these are so many weaknesses that many of us have. So try to define the major ones and let's say pick a number, 5 or 7 of them, and try to work on it in Ramadan. Be reasonable. Don't overload yourself. So if you finish these 5 in Ramadan, alhamdulillah, you have adjusted them properly. Then inshallah after Ramadan try to work on more. Next Ramadan try to define 5 or 7 of these to work on inshallah. So define a few issues that you are not good at and try to improve in these few issues. Again, you can take as a suggestion 3, 5, 7, 9. Make it odd number. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us inshallah. Also, my dear brothers, Ramadan is the month of the Quran. Yes? Allah, when He spoke in Ramadan, about Ramadan in the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, He said, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس. And in Surah, the month of Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed as guidance for people. Okay? That is one thing. The second thing is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when He spoke about Laylatul Qadr, which is the best night in the entire year and in the month of Ramadan, He defined it as what? إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ. The first ayah in the surah says, we have revealed the Quran in Laylatul Qadr. So Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed, and Laylatul Qadr is the night in which the Quran was revealed during the month of Ramadan. That's great. So what is this all about? This is all about the month of Ramadan being the month of the Quran. So the best thing that you can do in Ramadan, after fasting, obviously, or together with fasting, is connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Quran. One of the scholars says, if you want Allah to talk to you, then read the Quran. If you want to talk to Allah, then go for prayer. So you have always a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can always read the Quran. And by the way, it's not only when you're sitting in a room and reading the Quran. You're driving for half an hour, for 2 hours. Why not keep reading the surah that you know by heart? Why, if you can't, just at least run the Quran CD or from your mobile on your car speaker and listen to it. You can always be connected. Keep saying the dhikr that you know. You don't have to read the whole Quran or the thing that you don't know because you're driving. You cannot look at something, for example. Keep reading what you know. That's all a treasure of hasanat that is being given to you. You know the reward reading every letter of the Quran is still hasanah. And remember, one word, which is average in Arabic, of 5 letters, you earn 50 rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you read, for example, 1 juz a day, you may end up earning billions of good deeds. If someone converts this into pence and say, I'll give you half a penny for every letter you read, people will keep reading the Quran 24/7. Why? Because you're going to have earn 50 people every 100 letters that you read. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is again telling you, for every 100 letters, not words, 100 letters that you read, because only one sentence has 100 letters. So for this, you will get 1,000 reward of good deeds that you will need the most on the day of judgment. So what to do? Make most of the Quran during the month of Ramadan. We have so many distractions, particularly our phones, our gadgets, our devices, our families, our work, our business. Yes, my dear brother, I understand that you have to attend to all of this. Alhamdulillah. However, you need to, same way you dedicate time for everything, dedicate time for isolation and for seclusion with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, let's say I'll pray Zohr at 2 o'clock or at 1 o'clock. Okay? And then this hour before Zohr or hour after Zohr can be Asr, can be Maghrib, can be Isha, anytime. But Maghrib obviously will be busy with the iftar. So I will sit down, I lock myself in a room, no children, no kids. I will leave my phone outside. I'll hold a hard copy of the Quran and keep reading the Quran for this 1 hour without any interruption. I will switch off my phone or leave it outside, tell my wife in case no interrupt, go in the room except my room. I'll stay this 1 hour, 1.5 hours, these 2 hours, whatever Allah gives you the ability to do. and keep reading the Quran and connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how to approach the Quran? You'll find some people saying reading the Quran, even if you don't understand it, is virtuous by itself, so try to read as much as you can. Some others will say, no, you need to read it with understanding. This is the main point. So reading with understanding one verse is better than reading without understanding one surah. So to combine both views, you don't have to incline to this view or to this or to the other view. Simply, my dear brother, do what? You divide the Quran or your approach of dealing with the Quran into 3 parts. For example, one part, read as much as you can without understanding. Because obviously, without reading the tafsir and going here and understanding the English translation, that you will achieve a lot more. So read, for example, I'm going to read 5 pages without understanding, for example, or 10 pages. And then out of these 5 or 10 pages, I'll read again with translation or with tafsir. That is the second third. So the first third, you're reading, let's say you're spending 1 hour, 20 minutes on reading, let's say 10 pages without understanding, and then spend another 20 minutes on reading, say, 5 pages with translation, basic understanding of the meaning. And the other 20 minutes or 15 minutes, you can increase or decrease any portion of this for memorizing. Try to memorize. I know, yes, I know Qul Huwallahu Ahad, Qul A'udhu Birabbil Falaq, the last few surahs. Give a little bit of your time for memorization as well. Try to memorize or to polish some of the memorization that you have learned, learn some rules of tajweed, etc. Inshallah. So these are 3 ways of approaching the Quran. One portion of the time dedicated is for recitation without understanding. Another portion is for recitation with understanding or reading tafsir. The third portion is for memorization. Obviously, these are all suggestions. You can take or leave some or all of these. Not all of these. Okay, take some or 1 or 2 of these. Okay.
ليتك دوما قريب